Hey everyone, welcome back to Jason Explains Things. Today we're out in my shop and we're gonna do an easy project that's gonna make a huge difference out here. Today's project is gonna be all about lighting. We're gonna be replacing these 4 single bulb light fixtures with these LED shop lights that I purchased from Amazon. By the way, also purchased with my own money, not sponsored. Jason Explains Things is independent. Getting a little technical on you for a second, the new lights need to be super bright. They also need to be diffused so that they're not too harsh, like when you look up into the ceiling, you don't become blinded by the super bright light. And the other really important thing about the new lights is they need to all be the same color temperature. If you kind of look up at the ceiling at what I have now, that light over there kind of has a more orange hue to it, and that one has more of a blue hue to it, right? So that is because they're very different color temperatures. Other thing going along with that exact same train of thought is all the overhead lights need to match my professional video lighting equipment as closely as possible. When it comes to electrical work, installing light fixtures like these is as easy as it gets. With some basic tools, you really can do this yourself. So what I have here, we have a stud finder, a voltage detector, tape measure, insulated screwdrivers, wire strippers, safety glasses, impact driver, wood screws for mounting the actual light itself. I might use different hardware, we'll see. That's what I had that I think might work the best. Also, I have my supplies here, my electrical supply box with things like wire nuts, that kind of thing. While I'm working on the ceiling, this actually just showed up in the mail, and I'm pretty glad that it did, is a 30-foot retractable extension cord, which is gonna be really cool. I'm thinking about mounting this right there and share that receptacle that the garage door opener uses. Cool, let's get started. But last thing I want to do really quick, let's turn off this professional video light and actually get kind of a before picture of what it actually looks like in here. Okay, yeah, this looks kind of like crap. Kind of looks like crap. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I'm really excited to see what the after result is gonna look like. Okay, so we got our garage doors open. We went ahead and looked at the circuit breaker and turned off the breaker to the lights. So the first thing we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna grab our screwdriver and remove and disconnect all of the old light fixtures. Even though the lights are all off and we've all checked that, I'm still gonna use my voltage detector here. And I will show some footage of what it's like actually if you have a hot wire. If it stays green like it does here, that means your wires have no power running to them, and you'll be just fine to go ahead and touch those with your hands. So there's our new light fixture right there. You got some specs here. You have your 5,000 Kelvin daylight balance, 90-degree beam angle, that's cool. Suitable for damp areas. Rated at 50,000 hour lifespan. That's pretty cool. You know, you know how many years that is? Well, that's, how many hours are in a year?
8,765.82 hours.
What's 50,000 divided by 8,765?
The answer is about 5.7045.
You know, that would be 5.7 years of time. If you left these on, it would last for at least 5.7 years. So smart. We say we open her up.
3 days later.
All right, well, let's take a look at this light fixture. Yes, I have shaved my head, hashtag quarantine haircut, hashtag do it yourself. Yeah, I took a little break in between shots there. But yeah, let's go ahead and open this up. So here's the hardware that comes with the light fixture. This cable inside is for daisy chaining. Also, to attach the light fixture to the ceiling. I mean, it would be awesome if you could just screw right into a stud, then you wouldn't need these, but because I'm kind of looking at the light placement and where everything needs to go, I'm gonna have to mount this to drywall. These are awesome drywall anchors. I've used these quite a bit in the remodel of my past, this home and the home before it. Next step is to hold this light fixture up on the ceiling, and I need to mark where I'm gonna put my drywall anchors. Up the ladder we go. So I went, again, with the power still off, I tucked the wires up out of the way, back into the junction box. Fixture here up on the wall, up on the ceiling. And I'm going to go ahead and use screws that go into the junction box to mount this temporarily so I can mark precisely where I need to put my screws, where I need to put my anchors. Try not to think about the fact that my back is all screwed up. Right there, judging by this drywall seam, looks really straight to me. Right there. Sweet. So, use my handy dandy Sharpie, and I'm just gonna make a dot. Drywall anchors. All right, so be honest with me, is installing these lights really riveting YouTube content for you?
Yep.
I thought that it was. Okay, so here is the one that it comes with, more of a traditional drywall anchor. This one is different in that all you have to do, oh, hold on. So here's your driver, impact driver, or you could use a drill with a Phillips head bit on it. All you do is simply attach it like this. All you do is attach it like this, and then, kind of, with still having a little bit of pressure on it, you just push it right up against the drywall where you want it to go. So if you want to get a drywall anchor in the exact right spot, if you're trying to, mount a mirror or something on the wall where it's going to be super obvious if you don't get it just right, I find these make the process a lot easier. So these are from Lowe's. I think their brand is Toggler. Probably other brands make something similar, but I love these. Ever since I found them, I never use this type at all because they stink. There we go, like so. Okay, screw in one of my drywall hangers here just to get one started. Very nice. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll go down on the ground and I'll show you how to wire this up. Black to black, white to white, ground to ground. So black is your positive wire. White, right here, is your negative wire. And this is your ground wire. So you're gonna need wire strippers like these. These are from Milwaukee, like that. Good. Another good tip is you want to make sure that the length of the wires is such that you can kind of keep everything nice and tidy. Of course, you can always, if the wire is too long coming out of the junction box, you can kind of just shove it back in a little bit. As a good rule of thumb, you don't want to trim the wire coming from your junction box too short. But to do this, we're gonna we'll do our white wire first. Then you take your wire nut, and just screw it in like that, and just screw it in, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, screw it in until it's nice and tight. Then you want to give it a little tug, make sure that everything is still connected in there. Tight, tight, tight. Give it a tug, that looks good. Our ground wire, which is actually ground right to the metal of the actual light fixture. So, makes it nice and simple. This is our ground wire again. So I'm gonna trim this short. And often with ground wires, I see people connecting and not even using a wire nut. They just kind of crimp them together if you have a crimping tool. But since I don't have that, I'll just use a wire nut. If you just secure this as it is, if we were to tuck the wires back, maybe use some zip ties, you can leave it this way. But a nice thing to do, again, to make sure everything is secure and so that your work looks really nice, is you can use some electrical tape and a heat gun and really secure these things up. So I'll briefly show that. I start on the wires themselves, kind of just wrap around once, and then you kind of wrap it up around the nut, a little bit like that, and what this does is it makes the electrical tape all fused together. And then if you look really closely right here, you can see there's this little spot to actually thread a zip tie through so that you can can secure your wires nicely down out of the way. You know, I'd put these ones down like this, probably put this one over here like that. Your light wiring is going to be very nice. All right, so have a look. Here's the wiring done, just as I showed you on the ground. Having everything nice and secure like this is going to ensure that you're not going to have any shorts and that you're not going to have any issues with fire or anything like that. 3, 2, 1. Woohoo! So there you go, there's the final result. Pretty clean, not perfect, not the most beautiful wiring in the entire world, but I think it will do. It'll be nice and safe. Everything is very protected and insulated. So I think this light is done. So the ones that remain are the ones that are gonna be daisy chaining from one light to another. All the hard wiring is now done. That's why I turned the circuit breaker back on. What comes with each light is one of these little guys right here so that you can plug one light into another. All right, well that's convenient. Hey, we're done everybody. What do you think? I love this result. Let's compare from the beginning. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my video light here so we can get a raw comparison. This looks so good. I love that they don't flicker. I love that everything is the same color temperature. I love it. I mean, but I am gonna turn this light back on here. I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb here and say that if you are interested or in need of lights like this, these are a pretty fantastic option, I think. I've installed several other, utility lights, shop lights before from other stores, and these I think are better. The lights are gonna make every video better, and that makes me feel good because I think the end product for you is better. So anyway, thank you all very much for watching this video. Go ahead and, YouTube stuff. Go ahead and subscribe, give this video a like, share it. That's one of the biggest things you can do to help me out. Say, hey, this guy with the quarantine haircut, he showed me how to install some lights and he did a pretty good job, I guess. So go ahead and share. Or this guy's terrible at things. You should watch his video and we can laugh at him together. Either one is good with me. If you're watching this video in spring 2020, there is gonna be a lot of awesome videos coming up very soon on Jason Explains Things here, including lawn care videos, mini bike videos, and a bunch of other stuff too. I wanna start building a garden, a bunch of things like that. Stay safe. Hopefully your families are doing well as well. And I will see you guys next time. Screws in your mouth. It's a good thing to do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you have.